I'm going to go live on the Facebook and then we'll get started. Hi, it's Bernie Slavin here. Thanks for joining me on Facebook and YouTube Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors, GRS Insulation, Cornerstone, Advanced Utility Solutions, Ultimate Windows, Galaxy Blinds, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Dovecot, GRS Insulation, Ocean Lighting, and TGM Cars. That was the one I repeated one twice. Yeah, TGM Cars. Thanks to each and every one of you for supporting me over the years. The team today went into the game, obviously, bit of confidence, 3 wins in the bounds. Last couple of games, clean sheets, playing with 3 centre-backs, wing-backs. It's worked a treat. Scored the wonder goal during the week, McGree against Birmingham. Wasn't a great game, certainly wasn't a game for the purists. But today I went to the Riverside thinking, yeah, with the vein of form we're in, I know we get a bit of luck against Norwich, but that's 3 wins is no mean feat in the Championship. Went out today a bit of confidence, but never really get going. But the team was Dieng, Engel, Clark, McNair, Ayling and Jones, McGree, House and Foz, O'Brien and Latte-Lath. That was the lineup. On the bench was Glover, Belazer, Gilbert, Dick Steele, Sonny Finch, young Sonny Finch. Been talking about on here recently. So Vera, Azaz, Greenwood and Thomas. The game today, only one change. And it was that Van der Beer's been getting rave reviews, and rightly so. He's been in top form. He's, if you don't know him, he's a young lad. He's about 19. We got him for peanuts in the summer. He's come in and settled in instantly. He's cool, he's calm, he's composed, he can tackle, he's got a wee bit of pace, reads the game well. So he was obviously going to be a loss today, but he was missing. So Clark, McNair and Ayling were the 3 centre-backs. Jones was on the right, Engel on the left. Anyway, the game itself, apart from the one change, opening 20 minutes, we shifted the ball well and we get balls into the box, both left and right flank, but not ruthless or clinical enough. The chances we were either hitting defenders or fluffing them or... Yeah, we didn't do enough to get a goal. The only real chance I remember in the first half was O'Brien. O'Brien shot 20 yards, hit it well enough, but it was middle of the goal. They kept up both hands and put it over the crossbar. That was their only shot on target. They had a couple on target that one Dieng saved. And then second half, there wasn't a great deal to talk about. Jones came in for the right, hit the bar, it came back off the bar, rebounded off the bar, ricocheted off the bar. I don't know who it was, totally miskicked it. I'm not saying he would have scored, there was still a few players in front, but totally miskicked it. You know, lifted his left leg and it spiralled behind him. But overall, a frustrating, non-productive afternoon. I mean, since the new year, we have... we're still not won at home since the new year, 11v11. That's a fair old stat, isn't it? Not won at home since the new year kicked in. I mean, 11v11. Obviously, Norwich, we were getting done them. They were reduced to 10 men. But I didn't think we'd win the day, but we didn't. It's not the end of the world, but we get into the international break thinking we could have, we should have, we could have. We're just not done it. Some fans were a wee bit edgy. Again, they would have went with the expectations we're just going to turn up and beat them. That's not the case. I mean, we at the minute are on 54 points, 7 points outside the top 6, 13 points off the bottom 6. And if you look at them, they're fighting for the lives. They're only 3 points off the bottom 3. Butterfan says, Foz going off didn't help, as Azaz was nowhere near Latte-Lath to link up. Lack of quality as well from the bench. Soon as he brought in Belazer, Greenwood and Silvera, I went home. So Butterfan's just saying I went home and they changed. Yeah, when you change it and carry on several substitutes, when you change things, you're looking for a response and a change of direction. But it never happened. Andrew Smith says, Bernie, the 10-game unbeaten run is still on. Save those pennies for your coffee you're buying me. Would be great to meet up. I presented you with the Player of the Year at Erson Park. Did you, Andrew? Well, I must meet you for a coffee. Win, lose or draw, 10 games unbeaten or 8. Yeah, I'll meet up for a coffee and tell you some of your stories. So Vera kicking thin air. It was so Vera, yeah. Scott Watson says, hi Bernie, Joseph Slavin, how are you? It was a good night last night. I enjoyed it and we should have won today. up the Borough. Thanks for coming last night, Scott. Scott was at the Borough game, today, but he was at the Dovecot last night. Myself and David Wheater had a talk, bit of fun, bit of banter. Even had Wheat singing after a few shandies. Yeah, it was a up the state. I go to Dovecot after every Borough game, home game on a Saturday, but I didn't really know that I'd never been in the room above, and it was a good room. It was pretty compact and good atmosphere, and yeah, thanks for saying you enjoyed it. We enjoyed doing it. It was funny. It was good. So very kicking thin air. We mentioned that. That was from Colin Fryatt. Paul Lawton says some of the passing today, amateur standard. Some of the passing was poor. Yeah, routine passes for some of the better players that we class as better players. Some of the passes were poor. Carrick's substitutions never changed the game. No, they didn't change any course, any way, shape or form. He needs to improve on something he needs to improve on. Lacklustre once again up front. Up front, you know what? Somebody says to me in the lounge, the Legends Lounge with a host at the Riverside. Somebody went, Larry Laugh, he took Larry Laugh off. Could have took anybody off. There was nobody really set the header alight that was unbelievably good. You thought, wow, he's untouchable. I says in return, so this guy says, why did he take him off? He shouldn't have took him off. Well, Larry Laugh, pace, brilliant. Work rate, brilliant. Touch, poor. Creativity, nothing. Did they have a shot on target? No, nothing. I'm not cherry picking him. Foz went off, I don't know, was it 20, 25 minutes, whatever. Foz wasn't in it. Foz never did a shot on target during the week. Neither did Larry Laugh. It quite clearly wasn't working. But Foz went off, and obviously you miss a bit of pace. He's got a bit of pace and he's fairly direct. So I get that he was missed to a degree, but up front, powder puff. But somebody says to me that in the Dovecot when I was doing the live, what do you expect? We've let the star players go over the last year and a bit, and this is what you get. Hi Bernie, thought we started the game well. Jones, Latty, McGree, Foz looking quite sharp. They all were, Gary Morrison. They were, I mentioned that. The first 20 minutes we were really lively, up for it. Getting up the flanks, getting balls in and around the box. Chaos, you know, they'd flooded the box. They got every man behind the ball every time we went forward. And that's how you stop Middlesbrough, in my opinion. But we did have an outlet today because we had Jones, who we've missed. Why did we miss him? Because he gives you more width, he gives you better situation to hit. He's got a bit of pace and trickery, and he whipped over a couple of good balls today, but we just couldn't get in the end of them. But after the injury to Foz, this is for Gary Motson, after the injury to Foz, fell a bit flat. Subs used later on, changing nothing. Yeah, as I say, you change players round to get a boost, to change your fortunes, and despite the several players that come on, they didn't change the dynamics of the game. It was just the same. We just carried on the same trend. I mean, one lad used it to me the day after the game. I said, what did you think? He said, I was bored. I wasn't bored, but there's nothing really to write home about, you know. It's all over now for the Borough in terms of playoffs. Chris Andrews. Chris, I'm not a voice of doom, but I've said that for day one. Mathematically, it can still be done. Are we going to do it? No. We're simply not good enough, not ruthless enough. No, definitely not this season. Somebody put 3 years plan on it, saying 3 years time we'll be up, Bernie. That's their opinion. My weekends are gone now. My weekends are gone now. Meaning what, Chris? What, you're not going back? Well, this season, or are you just writing the whole season off now? There's a few ticks here. I had a few that was meant to, I can't even find them right. So Franco says, poor game. I was bored. I actually used that. Somebody else used that. Kerry says, frustrating afternoon. Going into the break with 4 straight wins would have been fantastic. It would have been. Phil Otten says, Sam Greenwood offers nothing. Lose no sleep if he goes back to Leeds. Can see why they only wanted 1.5 million from Phil Otten. Well, he's been in and out of the team. There's some games that he played well. He scored a couple of good goals. I think he's sharp. He's fairly quick. He's tricky. Not consistent, but I don't think you really get consistency when you're out in and out of the team like him. You need a run of games. And for Carrick to say, I believe in you, you're going to get a fair old run now and let stamp your authority. This in and out of the team doesn't help anybody. I mean, the last 4 games have been unbeaten. Why? I think there's a number of reasons. Obviously, Howson come back, who's been in form. McGree coming back, he scored a great goal midweek against Birmingham. that's a couple of reasons. Playing the 3 centre-backs in the last few games has helped us turn it round. Wing-backs, settled team has helped. Obviously won out the day. But the biggest one for me is it's the no pressure. Players are performing now. Well, not so much today, but last few games. Because there's no pressure. No, the expectations are not there. People's not saying, oh, we're going to go up. Start of the season where 7 games, never won a game. Then we turned it round. Then the pressure's on again. And then it was hit-y-missy and turbulent and up and down. And now there's no real pressure now. So the players should be able to go out relaxed, comfortable and enjoy it. No feeling any real pressure. Especially those that's in 4-year contracts. Should we have beaten Blackburn Rovers, Louis? In my opinion, no. I think a draw was a fair reflection, fair result. They had a couple of chances, we had a couple. Neither did enough to really turn the screw and win the game and take all 3 points. I don't think either team deserved that. But as I say, at home, we have struggled since the new year. We've not, as I say, I've seen it sort of tongue in cheek, but we've not beat 11 men, 11 opponents. We beat 10 opponents in Norwich. But we've not won a home game since the turn of the year, if you take that game away, which is silly because it happened and we won. But you know where I'm coming from. So at home's important to win games. Home is where you rope fans in, where you sell more season tickets, where you impress people, where people go, how good were we at home? We're really turning it on. And people want to go and clamour for tickets. But since turn of the year, it's been poor. It's not been where the results tell you. It's factual. It's not just an opinion. Graham McTiernan says, back in Romania from Glasgow. Hi, Graham, back in Romania. Who's beating Glasgow, he's back in Romania. Had a great time. I'll go back if it keeps the Borough winning up the Borough. Yeah, Graham, we need all the help we can get. But Borough fans watching this, is our season over? Are we just riding it out now? There's 8 games left? Some big games to come, big opposition. Is that it over? We've definitely written the top 6 off now. Is the majority or everybody agreeing with that? I don't think we're going to get near the relegation. I think we're right, I don't know how many, 11, 12 points off that. I don't think that's going to happen. Should we start breeding the youngsters? The likes of, I'm looking at the bench, Sonny Finch, we've mentioned him a few times. I've never seen the lad live, but I know he's a goal scorer. But so was Kavanagh, and he gets sold. But this guy was second in line. And people's been saying he should get a chance and an opportunity. Is now the time to give guys like young Sonny Finch a go? Thinking, we ain't going down, we ain't going up. Let's start giving these younger lads an opportunity to stamp their authority, to get used to the first team environment, and see what it's like to play at the Riverside in front of 20-odd thousand people. I personally would. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. See what you've got. McNair has been really impressive the last few games on his mini run. Phil Otten. Phil, do you know what? I think Paddy, ever since he arrived, he's been a top professional. Never had any trouble about him. Always gives his all. Sometimes he's had off games and made mistakes, and everybody does that. He's been dragged out of the 3 and been left stranded with a wicket on the wing. But for me, he's 110%, man, and he always gives it his all. And I think he has been very good the last few games. I do. Mopping things up, going in mazes with the ball, Pallister-esque, driving forward, picking a pass. Yeah, it's good that he's getting a bit of praise. Because I think a few months ago, a few fans were on his case, but his contract's up at the end of the season. What would you do, Borough fans? Would you hold on to Paddy? He's meant to be one of the highest earners at the club, or the highest earner. Do you cash in? Do you offer him a lesser contract? Or do you let him walk away? Chris says, I said McNair and Fry are our best centre-back, set in stone. Fact. So Chris is saying, I said McNair and Fry are our best centre-back, set in stone. So where would Van der Berg play in this, Chris? Are you not a fan of Van der Berg's? Everybody seems to be a fan. You might not be a fan. So where would Van der Berg, who's a centre-half by trade, where would he play? If your two's Paddy and Fry, and where does he go? Or do he play the 3, play a man alongside him? Craig Dale says, let's go for Smodic. If my pronunciation is right, next season, 21 goals for Blackburn, no penalties. I'll tell you what, he's a handful, isn't he? Big lad up top, handful. He scored 21. I didn't realise 21 goals and no penalties. That's what you call a goal haul. 21 in a season. Playing for a team that's 3 points off the bottom three. No mean feat, that. Yeah, so there you have it. But yeah, the big lad up front, he was a handful. They had a couple of nutty players. They passed it well. There was a couple of great moves they had. First half of the best move of the game. It was about a 6-man pass. Started for the right to the central, to the inside right. And then it came across the box. And the lad pretended he was going to hit it. And he let it go because he knew his teammate was behind him. We may have got a call. And I think he got a shot off. But there was some good movement. They passed it better than us today. Ipswich are feeling the pressure after beating Sheffield Wednesday 6-0 with a wee smiley face. Collins, obviously, sarcastic comment, funny comment. Ipswich, if you don't know, beat Sheffield Wednesday, who I heard had won the last 4 games or something similar, were trounced today, gubbed, walloped, humiliated 6-0. Ipswich flying. We've still to play Ipswich. After the international break, I'm sure we'll wait Southampton. And then we've obviously got the Leeds to come, Hull City. Some big games coming up. So the season's not over. There's still a lot to play for. There's professional pride. There's chances to give other players an opportunity to play in the first team, as I mentioned, the young lads. Tim Elite says, 10 points, last 4 games, I'm happy enough. But playoffs were certainly not good enough for that this season. That's a fair, it's a fair message. Totally agree, Timmy. 10 points, last 4 games. 6 weeks ago, 10 games ago, nobody would have said we're going to go on a run 4 games and not get beat. But to win 3 and draw 1, hey, that's not a bad return for a team that's huffed and puffed and been up and down like a lady in the nights. Alan Wickers. Anyway, Phil Hutton says, agree, says this before on the striker front. What does it do for Finch's confidence and Kavanagh beforehand when they are strikers? And he put Silvera on his head. Well, this is what I'm saying, Phil. Silvera we brought in, we paid money for. So the guys that brought him in have to justify, hey, we paid a few bob on this guy, we need to play him. Laugh, pay 5 million him. We need to justify it, we need to play them before these kids. Maybe they're frightened to get embarrassed in case Finch comes in and starts banging goals and looks the part. As I say, Silvera, Piero, Laugh, none of them's overly impressed me. They've been in at a team, injured, played, don't score enough, touches heavy, work rate great, pace great, but nah, it's straight. If you're a front man, I say this during if you're a front man, if I'm up front, I've got the big man in the air, I was hopeless. So I would leave that to the big guy that I played alongside. Unfortunately, in the modern game, not a lot of people play that style. But anything from there downwards, no matter who's behind me, I'd have to protect, shield the ball, get your backside into the defender and shield it and hold it and lay it back to your teammate and bring them into play. Or get it wide left or to the right, spin, get in the box, lose your marker, hopefully the winger gets it in the box. But I don't see our strikers doing that. I don't think the touches, they've not got a good touch. I don't think Foz has got a great touch. I don't think Latt's got a great touch. And to link up play, you need that. You can't keep hitting balls expecting just pace to win the battle. You need to change it and mix it up. And holding the ball up is a big thing. And if you can't, then the team can't join in. As I say, I watched midweek. By God, I was frustrated sitting on the sofa thinking, if I was pulling balls down like that and I hit my shoulder and like hitting a trampoline and bouncing away from me, and my mate's halfway on the go to link up and I don't hold up, they would be rollicking me. I don't see any of that going on. No, if the midfield keeps running up and my touches is hitting me, the lads are going to get on my case. And rightly so. Dave Saunders says, it certainly shows we are desperate for a striker. Happy with performance. The transition was brilliant from Borough. This is for Dave Saunders. Great to see Jones come back. Fantastic. I'm buzzing at the minute. Dave, I was delighted to see Jones. I mean, some people hot and cold with Jones. Sometimes he looks a great player, and in the same game he can go to a pub player. But today it was good to see him back. When he's good, he's very good. He's direct. Drop the shoulder, beat a man, get the ball in the box. He hit a couple of good balls today, first time. No, when he get played, he took up his position on the right. The ball was played. Don't forget he's playing wing back today. Ailing had moved in one at the other side. played it to Jones, and I was saying, hit it first time, and in a couple of occasions they did. They didn't take a touch or mess about, whipped it in first time, near post, good balls. You know, a lively striker who anticipates and sharp as a razor would probably go on the end of them and finish them. But when you put in a great ball at and nobody saw on the end, it's a wee bit disappointing. Matt Wetter says, if McNair goes, I'd have Rav, Lenihan and Clark of back three. I keep Ayling too. It was a good game today, he was. I'll agree that as well. Andy was good midweek. Supporting Jones, and he was solid defensively too. Yeah. Lenihan, obviously, he's been out for the season. I just hope the lad's fitness is on back in the team next year. Ayling, I used to hear several games back. I heard one of my mates, I was talking to him today, I said, you'd have got Ayling the other week, man. He's turned it round. He's the business now. He's done well against Birmingham. Did well today. Work rate phenomenal. He's a true pro. He's like a throwback. It's he's all he leaves. He's all out in the park. Doesn't go out, half hogs it, cheats, kidology, run about, kidding on. He's doing things. He wants to do it. He wants to get tackles in and G people up, and he's done well. David says, absolutely fecking with an E, infuriating yet again. Couldn't pass water. Absolutely crap to watch. Like he says, Bernie, you need to draw the fans into home. I can see a lot of empty seats next season, and I think we're just a mid-table club now. Well, I think the way we've operated recently, we're looking to just be a mid-table bobbing along club. I'm not here to persuade or dissuade anybody. It's a personal choice, getting a ticket, going to watch your team, whatever. But yeah, after last season, which was amazing football, this season has been a bit of a damp squib. You know, we're buzzing about beating Birmingham, who's, I think, are they only a point off the bottom three or something? Yeah, so we just need to keep calm, and we don't look a threat in the final third. Well, Anthony, we don't, because any ball's played to feet, it bounces away. Any ball's over the top, in the main now, the keepers, like our keeper at the end, comes out the box and clears the danger. The goalkeeper now is like a sweeper, a reverse sweeper, play behind the back line. So, yeah, it doesn't really work. I'll tell you what they were good at today. They knew we played three centre-backs. They were launching balls right over the top. They had a couple of quick lads. And they knew anything in there we were just going to gobble up. So they started hitting it over the top or getting it wide and in behind us. And they did it convincingly. The first half they put about 2 or 3 great passes through where the ball either run back to the end, the lad sliding in, or the big man held it up and fell over. But they got away from the markers, and they knew how to play against us. And then in the defensive, they would get everybody behind the ball, clog it up, frustrate us, thinking Jones' the only outlet here, which he is. And we never really did it. Adam McCabe says 3 clean sheets in 4 games. Let's build and have to go next season. Yeah, but Adam, I know what you're saying, and it's great. 3 clean sheets, yeah. Well done, Borough. 3 clean sheets. We've been letting goals in for fun. Some of them being ridiculous, but 3 clean sheets. That's a great tally. That's great. I'm still in for 7 games, burning up the Borough. Scott, what's no way, Scott? What you been on? You been on the sherry? No, that's your opinion. I respect everybody's opinion, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think we won 7. You're joking. 7? No, I definitely. Nobody games coming up. There's too much with the other clubs, the big clubs who's in that top 6, to make sure they stay there. And I can't see them just coming and lying down and it's nothing games and they're thinking of the holidays. I don't think we might be in that mode, but the other teams won't, especially teams like Leeds United. Do you think Leeds United are going to come to the Riverside and just swan about? They want to win the league. They don't just want to be in the player, they want to win it. Andy says, disappointing result, Bernie. We had our chances, but would have taken 10 points out of the last 12. I totally agree with that. After the season we've had, plus another clean sheet as well, onwards and upwards. Yeah, that's a confident message. Yeah, the balance thing is 4 games, no defeats, 3 victories, 3 clean sheets. That's a fair old return, especially with the form before that. But the home form's not good. That is one thing I have to say. The home form has to pick up. We've got games, is it 4 home games left? Against some of the big boys. We need to show. It so happens, you look at the bottom of the league, we've struggled against the majority of them down the bottom over 2 games. When it is the big boys, that's usually when we turn it on. Hello, Bernie, mate. That's for Carl Atley. Mixed feelings about the draw today, especially that chance we had in the last few minutes to win the match. It was very close, but not to be. Yeah, so Carl's referring late on the match, dying minutes, embers. Jones goes up the right, hits a great shot, looks as if it's flying in the top of the net, hits the bar, comes back. And I think one of the, I mean, I'm up the other end of the pitch, but they reckon that we have, well, I know we totally miskicked it. And that was the end, gone, whistle went. I think it was 3 minutes injury time. So, yeah, it was disappointing. Coming close, still not good enough, is it? Smoggy Robbo says, point's a point, but I see semi-finals ain't for everyone. Laugh out loud. Ailing needs a haircut, mind. So point's a point, but I see semi-finals ain't for everyone. Laugh out loud. Ailing needs a haircut. There's a few with the old pigtails, isn't there? There's 2 of the other lads with pigtail, and Ailing's got a sort of pigtail thing going on. Smodix is a good player. Smoggy Robbo, yeah, if I'm pronouncing his name right, I know you're talking. Yeah, he's a good player. Handful, puts himself about, holds it up, 21 goals. I wasn't ready to score 21 goals. That's a good old feat for a player that's in a team who's one of the strugglers in the division. 1 point off the bottom 3. Pulis and Wilder, we've criticised for playing dull football. Colin Fry, so Colin switched it and saying, hold on a minute, if it was Pulis and Wilder and you're watching this, because some people say we were born today in midweek game despite getting a draw and winning against Birmingham. He's saying Pulis and Wilder would have been criticised for it. Yeah, probably would have. But I think Carrick wants to play the right way. I just don't think he's got the players that's very good to play the way and the intensity, style and brand that he wants to play. Carrick, I'm sure, he proved it last season. He wants to play football. And it's good to see he's not overdoing it. This fanning about the back, he's not doing it now. You can see it the odd time we pass it, but in the main, Dieng's hitting it long, puts more pressure on defenders. Our defenders can push out, more pressure on the defending defenders, so, or the opposition defenders. So, yeah, Carrick, I don't think we know how he wants to play, but I just think the players he's got aren't good enough. That's why a month ago we were all thinking, dear God, we could win the relegation dogfight. Mark Wetter says, Bernie, if we got promoted now, would you do a bins window appearance again? Ha ha. Mark Wetter, I've said this before. If we got promoted this season, I would stand stackers in the buff, facing a window, not with my back to the window, facing it. But it has to be a big window. But I would do it, yeah. If we were getting promoted, I would go in the buff front window. I think the whole of Middlesbrough would. But it's not going to happen. I think we can say that confidently. The time I put the Man United bet and I had to flash my arse in bins window, that was a one-off. We had never won at Old Trafford for 68 years. Nearly 70 years we'd never beat Man United. So I thought my bet was quite safe, but obviously it backfired, but there ain't no chance of getting in there. So yeah, if you've got a big window, Mark, I might ask my mate the Dovecot, Big Carl. He's got a big window. Say, Carl, can I go in there if we get promoted? Well, you'll agree. I beyond the dark fruits, laugh out loud, Bernie. Beyond the dark fruits, yeah. Mike Loudon says, I'm a barber asking is welcome to come to me for a trim. I'm a barber. I'll ask him, right. So Mike Loudon's a barber. Somebody was claiming Ailing needs a haircut. Mike Loudon says he's a barber, so he cuts hair, and he's saying that he's welcome to come to him for a trim. Pretty rhythmical, to him for a trim. But you've not said where your shop is. I could give you a plug, but you've missed the opportunity, man. Evening Bernie, hiya Stuart Gourley. Evening Bernie hopefully gets a few more walking wounded back. Finish the season strong up the effing borough. Yeah, as I say, winning home games gets people in. And I think it's important to get your tails up, your confidence up, get you, the fans, confidence up, and talking about the borough going into the break, going into the summer break, the pre-season, the close season. You know, and then you can say, I tell you what, we had a turbulent old time, but we've picked it up, and yeah, let's. And then you start looking at the goals for next season, your ambitions and your dreams and your hopes. And yeah, I think it's important to get into the summer months on a good run. The last thing you want is getting beat the last 5 games and into the break. Peter McMullen, Pete the Bricky. Hiya, Pete. I met you the day. No, I know who you are, Pete. Hi, Bernie. Nothing exciting to say about the game. It was lacklustre. Even with the changes, it didn't improve. Yeah, that was one thing. When you put people on, you're looking for them to produce and make an impact, and none of them did that today. I'm not sure about Lackey Laugh. Lack strength in the ball. The season's over for the Borough. I think Pete the Bricky is a realist. I'm a realist. Yeah, but as I say, up front, we've let the top strikers go, goal scorers for money, which is fine. That's the business of the club. But as a fan, it's no good. To carry it, it's no good. What we've got now, Coburn's still out, and he's a rookie. Lackey Laugh, for me, his touch isn't good enough. Won't score enough. Foz is not a centre forward. I know people say he's the best striker. I've seen no evidence of that. He scored 2 in 2 games, the last 3-4 games, good. So is Lackey Laugh, but I don't think either is going to be ruthless. And somebody had the cheeky audacity to say Chuba Akpom was the same as Lackey Laugh when he came in. No, he might have been not scoring a lot of goals, but Chuba had a good touch. Chuba was super comfortable on the ball. Lackey Laugh's not. I hate to be critical of the lad, but I'm just trying. Somebody's teammate, if I was his teammate, I'll play alongside. I'd say, listen, do you want to stay a few days next week? We'll do the official training, stay back, bag of balls, I'll ping balls in, you get your touch right. I don't know if modern players do that. I did it. If I went in a barren spell, I would say, right, bag of balls, stay behind, get a young goalkeeper, shoot, and hopefully you find your mark again and get into games with confidence. I mean, I remember Bruce Rioch saying, you don't score if you're outside the box. You only score inside, and I thought. Started practicing shooting behind. He would go home and I'd be back with the keeper. And then he says, can I head the ball? I practiced for days with a lad called Paul Proudlock, headers. I ended up scoring a couple outside the box. I ended up scoring a few headers in successive games. But that was because Rioch knocked me, he says it publicly in the papers. You know, Slavin's at home, he only scores at home, you don't score away. It was another one who triggered me. Then I started scoring away because it woke me up. You either do that, right, I'm going to prove that I can do this, or you will. But I would certainly, but if I was Lackey Laugh's teammate or the coach, I would say, listen, I would suggest you stay behind and let's polish up your first touch. You cannot progress as an individual or a football team if your first touch is poor. There was one today get pinged in. It wasn't a great height, run about the midriff, and he's put his feet up to pill it, and it's well at and ricocheted and hit the guy, and we got a corner at it. But again, it's a touch. Bernie, can I mention Chris Molesley heading away to USA? We wish him all the best up the Borough. So Smoggy Robbo. So Chris Molesley, you're talking about the physio guy at Middlesbrough? That's who Chris is, it? I'm sure that's the same. Might be another Chris, but Chris Molesley. If it is him, he's been at the Borough loads of years. He's a good guy, and if he's heading off to USA, we all wish him well. I certainly wish him all the very best and have a great time. Where did I miss one there? Oh, pretty. Norwich, they will now claim 6th spot. We dropped points and we couldn't afford to. We could afford to because we were never going to get the top 6 anyway. So Morgan Roberts says, yes, mate, Borough physio. Yeah, so good luck, Chris Molesley. Yeah, good guy, been there for years. Obviously looking for a change in fortune or whatever. And I hope it's a great time. I'm going to read these. Where are we? Kerry says, frustration this afternoon. Oh no, I just read it at the tail end. They've been great to get into the break with 4-1s. They've been fantastic. Jojo says, what's the date on the Legends Live at the Dormans, Bernie? The date and the Legends, so if you're thinking who's the Legends, the Legends show used to be on the radio all over the Northeast. There was Malcolm Super Mac McDonald, Eric Gates and myself hosted it it ran for 12, 14 years, right across the Northeast. Top show, top figures, egos, fights, arguments, real. It was all real. I'm not talking about real radio, it was real personalities in there. There was no PC, don't say this, don't do that. We did what we wanted, we didn't swear, but opinion-wise, we says what we liked. A lot of the stuff now, dear God, I think the modern environment would last 2 minutes, the 3 years. Anyway, it's May the 3rd. It's in the Dorman. So Mark McDonald, for the younger viewers, played for Newcastle United, played for Fulham, Newcastle United and the Arsenal. Malcolm he went on to play, Malcolm, Marcel and Eric together, I think they played something like 1,600 professional games. They scored over 600 goals between us. Gates was more a number 10 than a striker. And both, the trio was all, we all gained international recognition. And we all played for, obviously, Newcastle. Gatesy won the UEFA Cup with Ipswich Town when the likes of John Watkins on TalkSport, he played. The Murin brothers, Sir Bobby Robson was the manager at Ipswich. Those were golden days at Ipswich. So he played in that team. Then he went to Sunderland, became part of the G-Force with Marco Gabardini. Can't ever remind Gatesy, my old mate, scoring against the Borough when I played. But I wasn't against him, but Pally and Mugger. Can't remember him scoring against us. Or Gabardini. Used to rave about Gabardini, never scored against the Borough. So where are we here? Let's see. I think next season we have to make clean sheets a priority and bring in a good striker who's a handful. This is from Matt Wetter. The top two teams have cracking defensive records with decent strikers. We keep a clean sheet and get a goal or two, then we're not far off being a good team aiming for promotion. Well, Matt, I've said it many times, but the late great Brian Clough, Borough, true legend, I was talking about it today, his statue is still in Albert Park, which is ridiculous, surrounded with corrugated iron. It's ugly. We should all go down and dig it up one night and take it to the riverside where it belongs, alongside George Camsell and Wolf Mannion and co. But yeah, so I think next season we have the priority clean sheets, the top two teams, decent strikers. Yeah, so the late great Brian Clough, yeah, what was I going to say about Cloughie? Cloughie always said that he built for the back, the spine of the team. Very good goalkeeper, 2 good centre halves, 2 good centre midfielders, 2 good strikers, and then you branch out and you build around that structure. Obviously the 2 up fronts change, maybe 1-1 or whatever. But yeah, I agree with that. Right up the spine, branch out. The thing we need next year for me, we need goal scorers, not 1 or 2. Goal scorers. We need pace. We need leaders. Yeah, that's what we need. They're the 3 that we really need. Pace, direct players, pace run up and down the line, leaders, vocal. As I say, if I play a ball, we'll go back to Lighty Laugh. If I'm a midfielder, and they play the ball up to Lighty Lap and he's touched his head, so I'm going to go, come on, you little... And I give him it verbally and I point the finger. Rav used to date to Mikael Beck. Don't get me wrong, Rav was a con man. Rav used to point when it was his fault. It wasn't Beck's. But he still pointed the finger. At least he was giving somebody it, getting rid of his frustration. But the modern players play ball-ins, touch poor, ball-ins up, back down our neck of the woods. And we just accept it. I don't see any remonstrating, point the finger, what are you doing, Ams? I don't see any of that, do you? You go to the riverside or go travel the country watching your beloved Borough, our team. Do you see that going on? I don't see anybody pointing and moaning and groaning and saying, come on. I don't see it. And that annoys me because that is healthy. I don't know if they're frightened of upsetting each other. Or you're taught now, don't shout, you might be classed as a bully, which is a load of absolute bollocks. So where are we here? Leslie Coates says, how many tickets have been sold for the Legends? I might just come myself. Well, there's a few, more than a few sold, Leslie. Who are you? The ticket tout, the ticket man. If you want to come, get yourself there, 3rd of May. Who's the worst striker you've seen play for the Borough, Bernie? Dear God, 2 minutes to mention. I've not got enough time, I've only got about 15 minutes. In my time, well, Rudy Gestead has to be up there. £6 million, dear me. Don Gutley, Michael Ricketts, Alves, 12 million quid. Jordan Rose, although he came with a great strike rate, and we killed his career because Karanka didn't play his style. Should have never have signed him. It was another 10 million down the river Tees, so he never did it. There's many more. Jason Yule came. Remember Jason Yule? There's another guy. There's a big Marwood. Did he come on loan? Marwood. Sure there was a Marwood. We've had so many that's come and gone and not left any stamp or any goal trail, if you like. No, but one of the worst ones was £12 million. Karankas paid £12 million in the January. Bamford returned. Should never come back. And we signed Rudy just said in the January. And for January to May, it was in the top flight. So 12 million the both of them cost, and between them they scored 1 goal, and I think that was the last game. It was Patrick Bamford. So yeah, there's been a few. Anthony Morton says, even Bernie, hi Anthony, I hope you're good. I am. I prefer to look at the positive sides of the things. 3 clean sheets in the bounce, that's been mentioned, Anthony. You might have just joined us. A few people's mentioned that, which is great. Didn't see that coming, neither did I. After a horror show at Stoke up the Borough. That's a good positive to cling on to. Clean sheets are no mean feat for us. It's funny how the clean sheets have sort of came when we play 3 centre-backs, isn't it? That is saying that I think we've played 3 centre-backs down the years and let goals in, but I think we're more suited it with the players we've got at our disposal. But I always say, if you're playing 3 centre-backs, you should be good defensive. I've always said that. Not taking any away the praise or credit, but you should be good. The majority of teams that we play one up top. Like we play one up top. We're number 10 and lies deep. 3 against 1, maximum 3 against 2. Should be good. Wing backs bomb, but get back in, cover up, mop up. So yeah, when it's 3 at the back and people are overly praising, I think we should be good. Colin says they are sold out. You're going. They're sold out, you're going. So he's saying that because Leslie Coates is going to come to the Dormans on the 3rd of May. Oh, if you want to order tickets, I forgot to say how you order them. 7.enterprises@hotmail.co.uk. So that's the word 7, the word, not the number. 7.enterprises@hotmail.co.uk. Eric Gates, Mark McDonald, myself. Tickets are going very well. Don't forget, it's not to me. They're going well. There'll be a good crowd. It'll be a straight talking, no nonsense. If you're PC correct any way, shape or form, don't come. You'll be offended. As soon as you walk in the door and see their faces, you'll be offended. Don't come. Stay away. At the end of the day, it's not over until the fat lady sings. I like this. And this is coming for a lady, Pamela Turnbull. Some people say, oh, you can't say fat lady. If you're a fat lady, you're a fat lady. You can't say you're skinny lady, can you? At the end of the day, it's not over till the fat lady sings. I'm not a fat lady, and I can't really sing, to be honest. Pamela, like it. But I think we'll finish 9th. It's no more than we deserve. Still love my team, no matter what. Well done up the Borough, she says. That's for Pamela. Thanks, Pamela, for that. Yeah, the late, great Ali Brownlee used to say that. We'd be getting humped away from home or whatever, and Ali be saying live on the radio, because Ali was a commentator, obviously, a very good one at that. Well, Bernard, the fat lady's not singing as yet, but she's gargling. And he used to use that phrase regular when things weren't going to plan. Hello, Bernie, Joseph Slavin. Hi, Mohammed. That was so awful. Playoffs, we had a shout had we won. As I say, we could come out the international break, win the next 3, a few teams go off the boil, and then we're back on track. Oh, we're going to get in the playoffs. I don't think we're going to playoffs. I've said it all season. Don't think we're good enough. Too inconsistent. Not ruthless enough or clinical enough in the last third. So, I don't hold any aspirations and dreams that we're going to end up in the playoffs. The thing is, we did a great team last year and we get done in the playoffs. And we did great. I would say great. We were very, very, very good to watch last season. Football team, scored goals for fun, top scorer in the division, thanks to Akpom, with Gels bombing up and down the wing like a greyhound, whipping over quality service, putting them in a plate for Archer and Ramsey to get on the end of them, and Akpom. So we failed the playoffs then. We're getting to them, but we failed first hurdle. So this team, no a shadow of the team last year. Trevor Chavo, hiya Trevor. Gabardini scored for Sunderland against the at Roca, but not at Ersam. I think Bernie in 1988 finished 1-1. You scored for the Borough. Yeah, I did. No, you're probably right. Did Gabardini score then? But Gabardini, I'll rephrase it. It's my fault, Trevor. Gabardini and Gates, not Gates. My mate Gatesy. Both of them never scored, despite having a great partnership and scoring a load of goals. Didn't score at Ersam Park. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lizico says, I bet the full Ipswich team back in the day, John Watt, Paul Mariner, Mick Mills, yeah, it says Mel, but Mills, yeah, and the full team introduced to me by the manager Bobby Robson at the then Dragonora. I remember that. A hotel in Middlesbrough. It was Dragonora over Thornaby Way. I met Bobby loads of times. Do you remember John Watt? So John Watt, I played with John Watt. John Watt, if you don't know John Watt was a Scottish international, played with Liverpool, played in Europe, one of the top scorers in Europe for the midfield. Great player, great appetite, could tackle, tough, creative, scored goals. Anyway, his career, he was obviously over the age of 30 and he's coming down a rung or two. So he comes to Middlesbrough and I ended up pally with him, I ended up going nightclub and that. He was a wee bit older than me, but he was a laugh and he was a fun guy. And we used to go see a nightclub on the Sunday night. There was a few nightclubs on the Sunday night. So say we go on a Sunday or midweek or Monday. Then we go, I'd say, all right, and I'd drop him off because I don't drink. He would have a few drinks. Drop him off, so see in the morning for training. And I'd get to training and I'd be getting changed. I'm knackered because we've been out at 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm putting my gear on, getting ready for training. And I'd say, where's Walkie? He's in the treatment room. Nothing wrong with him. Just hung over. And he'd just lie there. So that was one thing. But he was an old pro. He was near retiring. But then I remember him saying, I says, Walkie, were you in that film? Escape to Victory. Do you remember that? He says, I've got 40s. I says, any chance of showing us that? He said, I'll bring them in. And they brought us all these fantastic, I think with black and white pictures. Pelly, Bobby Moore, Ozzy Ardiles, they were all in it. And they were great pictures. And it was amazing. And Walkie told us that the film they had to dub his voice because he was so broad Scottish, despite being in England since a kid, a young player. They couldn't really understand him. But they were great pictures and there with Pelly and all that. Amazing. But John Watt was a character. But what a player he was. In Ipswich Town, he was one of the top boys. I bet the full Ipswich, yes, I've mentioned that, Leslie, tonight. Mick Mills, yeah, it's all right, I've got it. Smoggy Robbo says, I don't think footballers are allowed to tell each other off now. Well, do you know, I'm beginning to think that. It's the biggest load of pants I've ever heard. You cannot shout your team. I could imagine it. Me shouting, getting at that, and then somebody goes, he's brilliant. What are you on about? That's part of being a professional, to get the best out of your teammates. And the way to do it is to give them verbals. Verbal abuse, you call it? Yeah, it is. But it's to win the game. Come on, get a tackle on you. Stop shooting out a tackle. That's to G you up, to get you going. If you can't generate the adrenaline and passion to go and do it, somebody needs to motivate you to do it. The manager's trying to do it before you go on the pitch, as is the coaches. And then it's up to you, the player. And then if it's not, you can't do it either. Your teammates have to do it. On your behalf or on their behalf. But yeah, I could imagine it. Can you get me with a squeeze for a ticket? Can I get you a squeeze? You're too fat, Leslie. Like the Hallgate used to squeeze in the turnstiles before the pot pies. Yeah, you're a big lad. I think you could get a squeeze. See, you call it a squeeze in England. They used to call it a lifty in Glasgow. I'd go to Celtic Paradise my father always took me, my late father, but some nights he'd be working late on, he'd say, can I go? I'd be about 15, 16, go yourself, get a lifty. He'd still a thin, scrawny lad, and you'd go there and there'd be a lad on his own, say, oh mate, do you want to get a lifty? Somebody say, no, get away. Then you'd get one, yeah, come on, they used to just lift you over the gate. So it's a similar thing. But they were good days. Marlon Harewood, that was him. That, you're right, Marlon Harewood, Philip Jackson and Stewart's telling me, yeah. Trevor says, Ashley Fletcher, 7 million, there's another one. Where's he now? On the scrap heap. Yeah, Ashley Fletcher. Well, there you go. He came, he was at Sunderland, and we sold him for a lot of money. And then he kicked his backside. Yeah, he is definitely another one. Matt Bird says, I agree, Bernie, we accept way too much as a team. We've lost leadership since Tommy Smith, Lenihan. have been out. Howson's a good player, but doesn't show. He shows it by example, but not vocally. I don't want to hear him or see him remonstrate with his teammates on the pitch. It's been a while since we've had fist clenching leaders on the pitch. I've never seen them at Middlesbrough for years. I've told you, I'm fed up to. I used to play in. I'm from Glasgow. Gary Hampton from up the road in Glasgow, but a wee bit away from me. And if I wasn't doing it, if I wasn't getting closing people down, or I'd switched off for a minute, you lazy Scottish fuck. And he would give me dog's abuse, and I used to be telling you a little fat, and I'd give him it back, but he woke me up. And that was my adrenaline. I was back on. I was wanting to kill people, although I didn't really tackle because Hammy had won me up to a frenzy. It's good. It's healthy. Trevor Chavo, Sheffield Wednesday. That's for Smoggy Robert. Cannot wait for the three legends. Laugh out loud when ticket turns up. No, listen, Ian Moggy. I know a lot of people paid already for tickets. They are all, I'm not just saying this, they get delivered Saturday. I think it was Thursday. They're all getting sent out. They're all being stamped, addressed, envelopes. They're getting sent out. So you all have your ticket sooner rather than later in, and you'll be on the next one saying, Bernie, you were right. So yeah, they're on the way. Bernie Joseph Slavin, 147-ish. Yeah, I got the old chestnut again. I was asked to do another lounge today because the lad that does it was a bit late. I had something else to do, and I went in and I started off. And I says, any questions? It's a lounge I don't usually get in. The lounge I host, the Legends, is mayhem, madness, and it suits me because they're all, like myself, they're all mad and eccentric and all that. They're not like me, they like to drink. But they're characters. But in this one, a wee bit more sombre. Anyway, I says, any questions? And then one guy went, how many times you offside? Obviously, try to have a wee dig in it. It was a joke. And I said, do you know what? I get caught a lot, but I only get away with it 147 times. I says, and tell you what, see, in your lifetime, you'll never see a Borough player score 147. And it's true. There's only 10 scored 100 plus goals for Middlesbrough. You won't see in your lifetime. I says it last night. I was doing the talk in the Dovecot with David Waiter. Great night. Thanks to the lads in the Dovecot, the staff in the Dovecot, and the people that turned up. It was a great night. It was a funny night. But yeah, you're not going to see that. Why? Because there's no loyalty. Loyalty's gone now. Players come and go in a breeze, disappear overnight, fall down a hole in Linthorpe Road, never see them again. We're talking about strikers there. Some of the names come out, I forgot about them. That's so much impression. Put your boots back on, Bernie, you'd score more than this shower. Adam Hall. I'll be honest. If I was playing now and I'd scored 9 goals, I'd be under the... I think I get... If my memory serves me right, well, I've got facts and figures everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but certain places. When I first came, I came to a club who was in absolute turmoil, struggling financially. The players were old pros who didn't give a flying, who used to go drinking on a Friday in the Yellow Rose in Middlesbrough. I used to see all the parked cars. I came in November, and I could see right away training when they were missing chances, practicing, they were laughing, taking the piss, and I thought, no wonder you're down the bottom. But I was trying to make a name, I was trying to get involved in the full time, being a professional, and I was still with a lot of work to prove. I was unknown and I didn't know any name. But that season, inevitably got relegated. I only scored 9 and I was gutted at 9. But don't forget, this was the first time I'd sampled full-time football. So I should have been gutted, but I was. But then I found out, 5 minutes, then I found out that Gary Rowell had only scored 12. And I didn't know who Gary was at the time, and I obviously got to know him. Gary Rowell had scored over 100 goals for Sunderland. So, scored over 100 goals at Sunderland, I think he scored 5 against Newcastle one game. For to be only a few goals behind the guy who scored over 100 goals for Sunderland told you how bad Middlesbrough was when I first came. I was Middlesbrough's last signing. The late great Willie Madron, he'd signed some great young lads. You get Palliser for a set of strips with Billington Thornier. You get Stuart Ripley. You get a host of players and very good ones. He paid 50 grand for Stephen Pears. He had an eye for talent. And then he got me for 25 grand. But that season, 9 goals. Our top scorer in minutes got 9. I was embarrassed then. And I cost 25 grand on a few £100 a week. I'd be hiding in the bunker, let alone under the bed, with 9 in the month of March. Before you know it, we'll be in April. But But then after I started scoring 20 and 24 and 32, whatever, my confidence grew, my stature grew. But there was a loyalty there. I know the guy was joking. He actually came up and said, I says, listen, I've heard it a million times. I know it was a joke, but it's cool. But I was only getting a joke back in a sort of I was giving it a joke back, but in a serious way. I said, none of you will be here when the next player scores 100 goals. It won't happen. There's only 10 in Middlesbrough's history scored 10. 9 Englishmen and non-Englishmen. There's only 11 at Sunderland. And believe it or not, I think Newcastle's only 11 as well. Hard to believe, isn't it? When I got asked that question years ago, I says, probably about 30, we've been gone since, was it 1878, something ridiculous, 150 or whatever it is. I was asked, I said, there must be about 30, 40, 50, 100. No, there's not. And in the North East, it's all, Middlesbrough's definitely 10, Sunderland I think it's 11, and Newcastle I think is 11 or 12. So, and Mark McDonald's one of them talking about goal scorers. He's up there with Newcastle, he's up there. Leslie said there used to be a saying in the bingo, 2 fat ladies, number 88. Now it's 2 obese ladies, laugh out loud. I know it's a joke and I'm laughing. Yeah, of course it's funny. No chance of the playoffs. West Bromwich Albion, Norwich keep winning. Yeah, they're in the run as well, and they know what they want to do. Smogger obviously says John Watt was the best, one of the best of players. He was a character, but he was a great player, John Watt. Dragonora is the one in Middlesbrough Centre. Oh, right. I know. Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think of the one. There was another one in Thornby, another name. It was Juries in a few years ago. Yeah, when I met you in 2015. I think you're thinking of the Swallow that had been pulled down in Stockton. I thought it was another place. Could you imagine Chubby calling the bingo numbers Stuart Gourley? Oh, I would be highly entertained. Chubby's had everything thrown at him. I've met Chubby many a time. I know him, he's a friend. I've been in touch over the years. I've interviewed him for the podcast. If you've not listened, you listen to Total BS. Track back, you'll get Chubby's. Chubby's been accused of everything, anything. He's a comedian. A comedian cracks jokes. Tries to offend everybody and anybody. It's a joke. He's a comedian. That's why he's called a comedian. It's like John Wayne in the movies, the cowboy movies, and as a kid, he shot everybody. Killed thousands of Indians, everybody. I'm sure he didn't kill Indians and everybody with a gun when he came away from the farms. It's called acting. So being an entertainer on stage as a comedian or a singer, it's a form of art. People say, it drives me crackers, all this crap. Roy Keane shouted at the team bus mates as he was a winner. Roy Keane shouted at his teammates and he was a winner. Of course you do. That's what you do. I've had many a fallout behind the scenes arguing with my teammates, but we're all pals. We all wanted the same thing, the same success. You know, if somebody boobs, what were you doing there? In the dressing room, what's going on? Why did you flap there? Why you don't give me the ball? Whatever. And you have a healthy, I'm not saying fisticuffs, I'm talking verbal with your tongue. Fletcher's at Sheffield Wednesday. I see Dwight Gale's banging them in for Derby. Yeah, Leslie, you mentioned Dwight Gale. And I said, yeah, he'd be good. He's a free, we get him to the end of the season. Peter Bricky says, Bernie discussing strikers today with Matt Proctor and Steve Vickers. A player like Uwe Fuchs would have been ideal. 13 games, 9 goals. Uwe Fuchs was one of the guys that gave Middlesbrough the push and the nudge that season. If you don't know Uwe Fuchs, he was a German lad. He became like a bit of a cult hero, the big floppy hair. Nice skin, nice hair. And he had a date with Jet. You remember Jet? It was in there was some programme on the telly. I didn't really watch it, but Jet was a black-haired looking girl, attractive, fit, used to do all this thing on the telly. And he ended up on a date with her. But yeah, Uwe, I met Uwe. I interviewed Big Uwe at the Tall Trees many years ago. Not after a nightclub. This was during the day. But he was a nice man, and I watched his every game because I was doing the commentary with late great Ali Brownlee. Great to see your interview, Peter Wright, a great man. He's a true Yorkshire man. So David Jackson's. Somebody says, Adam says, unless you're Alec Baldwin getting a joke in, it's a joke. because he shot somebody, yeah, and meant to be false ammo. Great to see it. Yeah, so again, if you want to see interviews for myself, Total BS, it's my weekly podcast. I've done it for several years, thanks to the backing of the sponsors. And you can watch, I've done loads. I've interviewed anybody that's been any good at Middlesbrough over the years. I'm talking about the greats. Mannion, Clough, Ravanelli, Janino, Emerson. Akpom last year when he banged in the 20 goals, taking my own thing and overtake it. Pallister, Mowbray, I've done them all. I don't just do footballers, I've done Chubby Brown. And within a day of me putting on Chubby Brown, somebody says, why are you giving a racist a platform? Which I found ridiculous, because I've never heard Chubby, and I have been in his company over the years, never heard him being racist, never heard him even swearing. He does on the stage, I'm sure he does, but you've got a choice. You don't need to go and see him if you don't like that kind of stuff. But so I've had singers, Paul Smith, McSeymour Park, lead singer. I've had him on. I've got the big cricketer coming up soon, Ryan Sidebottom, he's going to be coming on. I watched Sunderland Die documentary, and Big Stevie, he was a kit man at Sunderland. And I watched it, and 2 days later, I've got him in the lounge today. So I watched that and I thought, and then one of my mates went, Big Stevie, he'd be a good guest, he's got some good stories, because he was a kit man with Sunderland. Before that, it was the Borough. He ended up, I think, working alongside his mother, who was at the Borough for a number of years. She's a character, by God, she's a character. The lads didn't mess about with her, she'd have knocked him out. And then he went from there to Man City, and then he went from Man City to Sunderland. But I found it interesting. I know we're Borough fans, and we don't like, if it was Sunderland on the field, I like batting. But I watch Man City programmes like behind the scenes documentaries, anybody and everybody. But I watched Sunlight Die, the latest 3 episodes, and it was very, it was enthralling, yeah. And as I say, I seen this Kitman lad, and I didn't know he was from Borough. He opened his mouth and he seemed for the Borough, and he's obviously worked there, but he's now there and Sunderland. And there's a few moments of sadness as well. It's not full on football, it's all behind the scenes. And I mean, there's a couple of faces there that I don't like at Sunderland. Some of the stories I've heard, certain people like the director of football, things like that, you know. But anyway, it's worth watching. If you're a football fan, watch it. So Uwe Fuchs, Pete the Bricky, I totally agree. Peter Davenport, he was awful, Benny. Who signed him? Smoggy Robbo. Peter Davenport came, he didn't at the best of times, Davy. Davy signed from Man United, 750,000. We played Millwall at Essen Park. Peter or Davy signed on the pitch, on a table, and then we went out. He sat in the stands, and we scored 4 that day. And then Davy got in the team, and then Davy was looked after financially more than all us who had dug deep to get it from 3rd, 2nd to 1st. Davy came in with all the luxuries, got a brand new car. We were going about in the horse and cart at the time. We were pissed off. But I always says, people say, you don't like Davy. Davy was a nice man. Davy was a family man. I mean that sincerely. He was a family man. And he was a good guy. And he was a very good player, technically good player, good touch, dropped the shoulder. Didn't really hit it regarding scoring goals. I get moved out left to accommodate Peter Davenport because he was 750 grand. I still get goals for outside left. Davy was struggling and I ended up getting moved back up the middle. But people, you say, why do you no pass to him? I say, well, if I can see the goal, why am I going to pass to somebody inferior? I says it tongue in cheek. Some people took it literally, oh, he doesn't like him. I did like Peter Davenport. He may not have liked me, but I like Peter Davenport. And he was a family man. And obviously at that price at the time, which was a lot of money, a couple of years previous, we'd been on our arse as a football club and as a town. And all of a sudden, we're spending this money on a guy who didn't do it. Ian always says, I know I say that you, when you were there, you were offside most of them, laugh out loud. I was the one in the trainers last time you did the Hill Street up the Borough. Oh, big man, I know who you are. Ian's got trainees, class trainees, the pure white. He obviously whitens them every day. And running them, he's got all his players that he admires. Yeah, I was on him. Now he's hammering me. No, but he's got all the Borough names like Ravanelli or Clough. and they're all wrapped round. He got them self-made. Yeah, they're class A. I like you. You're all right. And as I say what you want. I wind you up. I don't really get offended. Was walking around Tesco in Ingleby, Chubby, a month ago. Went back to his car, gave me a CD, rare one at Blackpool Rock. My little one meets him very regular. Jet was in Gladiators. Thanks, Robbo. Yeah, Jet, black-haired girl, was in the Gladiators. Yeah, Gladiators it was like a fighting competition. It was a bit of stage, bit of acting. Jet was in Gladiators. Thank Bernie. Get well soon, Mother. Yeah, so we're finishing. We're wrapping up. Thank very much for joining us. I'll be doing my Total BS podcast on Monday. I'll have an interview as I have every week. And well done, Borough, before we hit the international break. 3 wins and a draw on the bounce. 3 clean sheets. Well done. Enjoy the break, the players, the fans. Let us get back in action and for now to the summer, let's enjoy the ride and let's hope we can win more than we lose. Thanks very much for joining up the Borough. I'll read the ones out I've not read. I say it every week. I'll read these. Thanks very much. Cheers. And if you're religious in any way, keep praying for Mugger. Tony Mowbray, myself and Gary Pastor seen him a couple of weeks ago. He looked in good form. He sounded good. He looked good. He looked strong. Still got big thighs. Mind you what, chicken legs next to him. I kept saying, where'd you get his size from? So yeah, just say we pray for Mugger and let's hope he's back sooner rather than later on the sidelines at Birmingham. Cheers. Cheers.